Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Oh my goodness, you look all kinds of cozy over there.
Yes, I have my festive holiday jammies, lounging jammies on.
Yeah, it looks great. I wish I had jammies. I don't have any jammies.
We'll have to take care of that.
Yeah, I need some jammies.
Santa needs to bring
some jammies. So hey, Disturbinites, how you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Disturbin the Burbs podcast.
Holiday version.
Yeah, we're doing another holiday version here. We're going to try a little new format. Jen and I want to talk to you a little bit more often, and we understand that you probably don't have time or even want to listen to us all the time for an hour.
Right.
And so we thought we'd try out something, a new format. I haven't seen much of it out there in the podcast world, but we want to do something we're going to call a Pint-Sized Podcast.
That's the perfect name, honey.
Yeah, I think Pint-Sized would be good. What we want to try to do is have kind of snackable content for you guys. Pick a single topic, have some fun with it, get in, get out, get done, and it's perfect for your morning commute or right before you go to bed. Just listen to us for 15 minutes. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Oh my goodness.
Am I setting the bar a little high?
I was going to say, set the timer.
Oh, yeah. It may be a little bit longer or it could be shorter than 15 minutes, but that's kind of the goal.
Anyway.
Yeah, right now we're sitting right at 1:24 seconds, so
okay,
we better hurry
this.
up. So anyway, the first episode here of the Pint-Sized Podcast, we thought we'd talk about our favorite Christmas movies.
Yes.
And so without further ado, you know what the sad thing is tonight? We don't actually have a lovely beverage in our hand, so we can't play What Are You Drinking?
Maybe the rules are different for Pint-Sized Podcasts.
I don't know. I think we should always have our beverage in our hands no matter what we're doing. So anyway, shall we just kind of go from, number 10 on down to number 1 to what our favorite is?
Okay.
Yeah. Have you got yours in front of you?
Yes. I mean, I guess I assumed we'd start with our top. And so I've got a top 2 and the others were really tough to get into order. Mm-hmm. So, I'll just say these are loosely based.
Okay. I'll start with my number 10.
Okay.
If that's cool with you.
Also, I have 11.
That's all right. I've got a bunch of other ones that are honorable mentions.
Okay.
So, but, I wanted to focus on what at least our top 10 are. My top 10 is something that was actually released last year on Netflix, and it's called The Christmas Chronicles.
That was good. I did
with
not
Kurt
think of
Russell.
That one.
So I don't know if anybody else out there has seen The Christmas Chronicles with
If not,
Kurt
we
Russell.
recommend you go find it.
That's a mouthful. Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. So, yeah, it's actually pretty entertaining. He plays a character, Santa character, and
2 kids, stay up to try to see him, and
yep,
it works.
hilarity
they go
ensues.
On an adventure. Yeah,
they go on an adventure together.
Well, this is good. We shouldn't all just match. I mean, so
No.
we get lots of recommendations.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good one. It
was good.
made it onto this list this year. I have lots of others, but I loved it so much that I wanted to make sure that it got on here. What's your number 10?
My number 10, and because I'm going to move my number 11 to honorable mentions like you did.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 10 is Home Alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Home Alone makes an honorable mention on my list.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and so what about Home Alone gets it into your top 10? What do you love about it?
It's at this point a classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not one that I watch every year, which is why it's lower on the list. But it's a great family movie. It's full of laughs.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad in it.
Well, I mean, it happens to be one of the most violent Christmas movies.
It's true. It's so true. But, we have a boy, and our boy always loved it. And I love watching it together as a family. And great family movie.
And who can't help but love young Macaulay Culkin?
Alone
in the house, wreaking
really
havoc.
Quite an awful premise if you think about it, but we don't think about that.
Yeah. Well, he took care of himself. So
badass little boy.
All right. How about number 9?
My number 9?
Sure. Why don't you go?
All right. White Christmas.
Oh,
sorry, It's not higher on the list, honey, but it's on the list.
I'm disappointed.
Well, all the newer ones kind of went out over the classics in this case. So
yeah. All right.
It had to be on there.
Well, we'll visit that one again because it's much higher on my list.
And what's your number 9? My
number 9 is a new one that came out a couple years ago, and that's Office Christmas Party.
Oh, shoot. You get me again.
Is that one even on your list?
No, it's not, and it's great.
Yeah, that is a
so bad, so wrong.
Classic, yeah.
Grown-ups only.
So it's Jason Bateman, right? Is Jason in it? Yeah, Jason's in it. Jennifer Aniston. I'm trying to remember the name of that character actor. He does voiceovers, and he's the brother that is running the company.
I don't remember his name either.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I'm going to look it up here on the phone real quick.
While you're doing that, can I insert another one that didn't make the list, but this one reminded me of it?
Sure.
Bad Moms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bad Moms. They've got the Christmas version of that.
Yeah, they've got a Christmas. Their sequel is Bad Moms Christmas. And ladies, it's all for you. Really, there's not a lot for the guys on Bad Moms and Bad Moms Christmas, but it is worth it if you want to laugh all by yourself.
Right.
Watch them.
Yeah. So the guy that's in that movie is T.J. Miller.
TJ.
Right. He's in the movies with Ryan Reynolds. I'm having a hard time remembering movies right now. What's Deadpool?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he's the bartender, kind of sidekick dude.
He's in a bunch. He's great.
Yeah, T.J. Miller's fun. So your number 9 was White Christmas.
And yours was...
Mine was Office Christmas.
Yeah. Thumbs up on those.
Right on. So number 8 coming in for me is Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick.
Dang it. What the heck, honey? So far, we're 0 for 3 on matching.
Yeah. And, I mean, is that one even on your list at all? Wow. Did you forget about it? Or is it just not one of your favorites?
There's so many, hon. We love movies, and there's more than 10,
Right. Yeah. And that one is classic. I absolutely love that one.
That tells me that sooner or later, I've got to stump you on one that's not on your list.
Very possibly. But, yeah, Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito. He is a character that moves in next door to Matthew Broderick, who happens to be the neighborhood Mr. Christmas. And... Danny DeVito trumps him. If you haven't seen this movie, you gotta watch it.
Totally
it's hilarious.
Worth it.
Very, very funny. And his goal, Danny DeVito's goal, his character wants his house to be seen from space. He wants to light it up so bright. Kristen Chenoweth is in it. A couple other people.
Yeah, one of the gals from Sex and the City is Matthew Broderick's wife.
Yeah. So
the one I always forget her name.
Kristen something.
Another Kristen. Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So what's your number 7?
8.
8? Mine was, you're 8. Mine was Deck the Halls. Yours is
Legend of the Guardians.
Wow. Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. That one was actually pretty good.
So that's an animated one.
Yeah. And
it's about the Guardians are Santa Claus, Mother Nature,
Easter
Sandman,
Bunny.
Easter Bunny.
Yep.
And all the magical, legendary figures.
Jack Frost.
And then Jack Frost. Ends up getting added to the Guardians, and they all wonder why was he chosen to become a Guardian, and it's about his journey discovering what his power is to make
kind of
children
a story
happy
of
and
redemption, maybe, or just finding your
place in the world.
Yeah, your inner worth. That one was a fantastic one.
It's a great message and very entertaining.
Yep. And then number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah. These are really tough. Choosing my top 10 it was really tough.
See, I chose my top 10 in like 5 minutes.
Really?
It was putting them in order that was tough.
Yeah, putting them in order was tough. And this one might deserve to be a little bit higher up. But my number 7 is Arthur Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. That's an animated movie. I think it's Sony Pictures.
If you haven't seen it, you are missing out. It's about the sweetest movie I've seen.
James McAvoy, I think, does the voice of Arthur Christmas. Hugh Laurie plays his older brother that is in line to be Santa Claus, but
he just doesn't have
the
emotional
right. I think James Broadbent is the
actual Santa,
the actual current Santa. Retire. Set to retire. He's perfect. Love James Broadbent.
Yeah. And then Grand Santa.
Oh, yeah. Grand Santa is Bill Nighy. Yeah, I love Bill Nighy.
And Imelda Staunton,
Yeah, Umbridge from Harry Potter.
Is Mrs. Santa.
Mrs. Santa. So it's a fantastic cast. It's a great story. Hilarity ensues. Not bad for an animated animated movie.
And completely sweet for family movies, all kids of all ages.
Yeah. But there's so many great movies out there that at least it made my top 10.
Yeah.
So what's your number 7?
10, 9, 8, 7. Christmas with the Cranks.
Okay, yeah. I love Christmas with the Cranks. And if you've watched that one, you can understand why it's great. It's very, very funny.
It's based on the book Skipping Christmas.
Right. Yes, by John Grisham.
That's right.
Right. And, when I first read that book, I read it before the movie came out, and I knew that immediately it would be a great movie.
Yeah.
I pictured
Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin
Me too.
as the lead character instead of Tim Allen. But Tim Allen actually pulls it off very well.
It just is a different movie than Steve Martin would have made it.
Right.
But it's completely great.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd.
The wife.
Yeah, is in it. A lot of great characters. Fantastic movie. Always in my top 10.
Do we want to summarize real quick?
Sure.
In case people haven't seen it, their grown adult daughter is going off to join the Peace Corps, so they think they're going to be alone for Christmas for the first time ever. And so they decide, you know what, we're going to save money. We're going to not buy a Christmas tree. We're not going to host our Christmas party. We're not going to do this. And we're going to go on a cruise instead.
Right.
Then their daughter calls and says, hey, Mom, I'm coming home and I'm bringing my new boyfriend.
Right.
And they have like a day to get all their Christmas decorations up, get everything they need to host their Christmas party, and their neighbors, who they've completely alienated during this we're skipping Christmas thing, show them what the true meaning of community and Christmas is.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
They're all fabulous.
Yeah, it's a great one. I think the movies, when I'm looking at my top 10 here, I would say the majority of them have that kind of humor bent to them.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of some sarcasm, but then the warm message at the end.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I kind of lean towards.
Right.
So that was your number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and we're not doing too bad, although we're at 11 minutes. I don't think we're going to make the 15 that we talked about
earlier. For 20.
Yeah. But anyway, number 6 on my list, one of my favorites. It was released a few years ago. You're smiling over there. It's Fred Claus.
Hey, we matched for the first time.
Yeah, right on. Fred Claus. That's Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, plays Santa Claus's brother.
As only Vince Vaughn can be.
Right, Fred Claus. And who's
Santa Claus's brother?
Yeah, who's Santa Claus in that one? Oh, what's
we're
that?
Not drinking Merlot.
Yeah, what's that? Sideways. Oh, great character actor. I'm going to have to look that one up too.
Oh, I'm ashamed, but I'm not thinking of it either.
Yeah, he's in the what's that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow and Huey Lewis where they're karaoke?
Duets.
Yeah, duets. So he was in that one as well. Why can't
he's in a ton of movies.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
everyone is going to beat us to it. They're going to be saying who it is before we can even say it.
Paul Giamatti. Yeah. Plays Santa. And anyway, that was another fun one. Lots of sarcasm. Fred Claus is just a deadbeat dude, just basically, scraping through life and has an opportunity.
He got no love. I mean, his brother was Santa,
right.
So he's like...
Yeah. Kathy Bates has a part in that. Plays Santa's mother. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty good one. So that's great. We were both right there on number 6, and I think that's exactly where Fred Claus belongs, is number 6.
Right.
Number 5 for me was actually Christmas with the Cranks.
Okay.
And that was your number 7, right?
Yeah. And my number 5 is Arthur Christmas.
Okay.
So we were...
Yeah, swapped there. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Serendipity.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I can't remember. Yeah. I can't believe I actually didn't even think of Serendipity.
I mean, it's not a strict Christmas movie.
Right.
But it begins at Christmas time and it ends at Christmas time. And,
no, it's a Christmas movie. I should be bitch slapped on that one. Yeah, because I totally forgot about it. And that's one of my favorites.
John Cusack.
Yep.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yep, Kate Beckinsale. That's a great movie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good choice. And that was number 4 for you? Mm-hmm. Number 4 for me is Elf.
Really?
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Why?
Well, you'll see where mine ended up.
Like number 1, probably.
It's number 1.
Really? Wow. So yeah, no, Elf. I love Elf.
4.
Yeah, it's hard. That my top 4 are difficult. So Elf kind of sits in there. It's definitely a must watch. We watched it second this year.
This year was second, and it's usually first or second.
Yeah, first or second, and it's great. It's timeless. It's a classic holiday movie.
So many quotable lines.
Yeah,
and it's the most endearing movie ever.
Right. So that's where it's number 4 for me. Did you already do number 4?
Serendipity.
Okay. And then number 3 for you?
Number 3 is my cheat. Mm-hmm. It's the Santa Claus trilogy.
Mm-hmm. No, and I actually did the same thing.
Did you? Okay.
Not at number 3, but and then let's talk about that here in a little bit. My number 3 was White Christmas.
Okay.
You know,
and I had that down.
That is something that I have been watching since I was a kid with my parents. And so it's very nostalgic for me to watch that. It's not the best, I don't think.
And that's why it was farther down for me. It had to be on my top 10 for sure. But.
Sure. But it deserves number 3 for me.
Okay.
What about you? Number 3?
My number 3, I said mine, the Santa Claus trilogy.
Oh, the Santa Claus trilogies. And for me, that was number 2.
Okay.
And that was a difficult one for me to place on the list. And I didn't know whether to group them as a trilogy or to individually put them on there.
I didn't want to give up 3 spots for it, but I always want to watch all 3 of them.
Right.
I like all 3 of them. Some people say, the third one's not as good.
Right. And I would agree with that.
But they each have their own things that are special about them.
Yeah. And I think number 2, the Mrs. Claus.
It's wonderful.
It's actually probably almost more of a favorite of mine than the first one, even though the first one is just a classic.
Yeah.
Tim Allen at his best. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. So, and that is something that is a must watch for us every holiday season. So what's your number 2?
Well, you can fill in the blank for me, right? I mean, Elf is my number 1.
So
What's
the
left?
Holiday.
Yeah.
And the Holiday is my number 1.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I absolutely love that movie. Jack Black, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, whatever that British.
Kate.
Winslet.
Winslet.
Yeah. And assorted few other actors.
And like I said, my top 2 were really difficult to decide between Elf and The Holiday. Those are definitely my top 2 favorites. And sometimes we watch one first.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the next one. But those are the 2.
Yeah. I think that was
very close tie for me.
Actually, Eli Wallach's last movie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was The Holiday. He's fantastic. Plays an old neighbor.
And if you don't know that movie, shame on you. Go watch it right now.
Yeah. The Holiday is fantastic. Very feel-good, warm type of a movie. Again, lots of humor, kind of redemption at the end. Seems to be a theme. Mm-hmm. And then, I've got all these honorable mentions.
Well, if you're wanting to keep this short, why don't we run through our honorable mentions just by title and not go into
detail? Absolutely. Go for it.
I only just have the one, Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one. I've got that on there. In either version, actually. Same. I probably prefer the newer.
Oh, and I think the older one has a slight edge for me.
Okay, right on. And then I've got Love Actually in there, which is probably one of those that you don't like anymore.
That's right. I was going to say I have a category of movies that no longer make the cut for me.
Right.
But you want to finish honorable mentions first?
Sure. I mean, I've got Home Alone on honorable mention. I've got Bad Santa.
Oh, yeah.
I've got The Miracle on 34th Street. I've got Nightmare Before Christmas. Certainly not a must-watch, but I actually really enjoy that one. I know you don't as much.
It's all right.
And then who can forget the claymation movies? Or
that's true.
The animation.
Those specials,
Frosty the Snowman, The Year Without Santa Claus,
I didn't think of them because they're not long.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Those are classics that we grew up with and had to watch.
We should mention Noelle, that new Netflix one.
Yeah, there's a great one with, what's her name? She's in the singing movies. We're having serious brain farts. Yeah, Anna Kendrick. And
it's too new to be on the top 10.
Yeah, Bill Hader's in that. It's on Disney Plus. So if you don't have Disney Plus,
not Netflix.
Yeah, it's Disney Plus. So scratch the Netflix. Folks, you probably just got excited if you had Netflix, but yeah, no, you got to have Disney Plus. And I know there's a lot of my friends that are hesitant on signing up.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast. But anyway, Charlie Brown Christmas, which is on tonight. We missed. It's a favorite. One that I was actually kind of surprised that didn't even get an honorable mention from you is The Polar Express. Yeah, that's another great animated. And then, of course, the shorts that came out on TV called Prep and Landing.
Yes.
And there's a couple of...
if you can still find those, they're great.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So that's kind of my my honorable mentions, of course, I've got Christmas Vacation on there with
You
Chevy
did way
Chase.
better than me.
Well, and the one
I wasn't looking at anything for my inspiration, though. I was just doing it from my memory.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation is hilarious. I mean, it's got some of the best quotes for Christmas movies. You know, like this one. Can I read it? I just love this quote.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. It's, you know, Clark Griswold, and he's his Christmas is clearly going down the toilet, and he's just like, where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together. This is a full-blown 4-alarm holiday emergency here. We're going to press on, and we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat ass down that chimney tonight, he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. Absolutely love that quote. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
Now that we've gone off on that a little bit.
Right. Hey, we're at 20 minutes.
Is that all the honorable mentions?
That's all the honorable mentions. And
so I had one last little category.
Mm-hmm.
No longer makes the cut for favorite movies.
Right.
One of them was Love Actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever read this article called Why Love Actually is Actually the Worst. And I won't go into it. You can probably just search that title and find the article. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of crappy relationships in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's wonderfulness as well.
Yep.
But then there's, shitty cheating and sad widows and I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a strong mixture of real life situations that, quite frankly, it's questionable whether it belongs in a happy Christmas movie.
Yeah, it can really get you down if you're not in the right place.
Right. The Bill Nighy, aged rock star storyline is great.
Yeah.
The Hugh Grant is the new Prime Minister of England storyline is fantastic, and the storyline with Jamie, the writer, I mean, that it starts off with infidelity. He catches his wife cheating on it with his brother, but then he goes off and meets a young.
The gal that I think she speaks Portuguese.
Yeah,
she was a language.
She was his
with her
housekeeper at his
getaway
cabin, and but then obviously the storyline with Emma and our favorite Snape, Alan Rickman.
Yeah,
that storyline is probably the one that kind of
it's the worst.
Destroys the movie.
Absolutely.
And that one is really,
And the difficult sibling one, where she has to, she cares for her brother who's in the care facility, and she can't manage to maintain a relationship.
Yeah. And then, of course, the fun little happiest one is where the guy who plays Bilbo Baggins, I can't remember his name, and he's also in the Sherlock with Benedict.
Oh, the body doubles or whatever it is.
They were stand-ins. They were stand-ins for a nude scene, and they ended up dating and living.
And the little boy who's in love and learns the drums so he can,
So there is some
the attention of the girl's eye.
There is some redeeming qualities.
It's mostly good, but the bad outweighs it for me anymore. And if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to fast forward the parts I don't like.
Yep.
So that's why it's off the list. Mm-hmm. My other one that no longer makes the cut, Family Man with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, really? This is news to me, and why doesn't it?
Well, you notice we haven't watched it in 3 or 4 years,
right?
And because there's a lot of funny parts, and I'm sorry this is going on long, but man, it is so sad. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end, it's all gone.
Yep.
Everything.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry. He keeps the lessons he's learned, but the family that he thought he had, understood and gained, and now he was happy with this new life, and it's just poof.
Yep, it's gone. Yep.
And yes, he finds his way. He finds his way to her.
Yeah.
In the present day.
Yep.
But how much older are they than what that storyline would have gotten?
Right.
It's not like they're going to have those kids, and I don't know. It's heavy.
Yeah.
So those are the only two.
Understandable. Then, of course, there's all the various Hallmark movies that you watch every goddamn year.
Yeah. That's another topic. We can just leave those there. Back off of my Hallmark movies.
All right. Well, this was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sorry it wasn't 15 minutes.
No, that's all right. We're clocking in at 24, 25 minutes here. So it was a lot of
Barely
fun.
pint size.
Yeah, it still was a pint-sized podcast. So anyway, thanks for taking the time with me and discussing our favorite holiday movies.
Go watch some movies.
Yeah, love you.
Bye.
Bye.